Hello and welcome to Shell Will Tell. So today I'm going to talk about two television shows that I think are really close to each other. Like, as far as storyline, they are very, very close ideas. Like, very close. And maybe it's because these two people had the same thoughts and ideas when they wrote it, and it just so happened to look like this. It so happened to come to this way, but I just thought it was very strange how quite similar they were. So, Heart of Dixie, the movie, came out in 2011. I mean, not the movie. Heart of Dixie, the TV show, came out in 2011. Heart of Dixie, the TV show, came out in 2011. So, I watched it. I love that show. And although it had some moments where I'm like, why would you do this? But that show was pretty good. I liked how it was set in a small town in Alabama. And it was a girl that came from New York and all those good things. And I like how it ended, how she ended up with the Wade guy and all that nice stuff. And then later, I see on Netflix there's something called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And I watched that. This one I did not like as well as Heart of Dixie. Probably a personal opinion. Some people could have liked that better. But what I found is that they were very strangely, uncomfortably similar. So, in both of the shows, both of them are very smart people who have some sort of bump in the road in their life and have to move to a different place from New York. One is a doctor, one is a lawyer. They both move from New York. They are both Jewish, and they both move to go to somewhere new. Now, granted, in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it's California, and in Heart of Dixie, it's Alabama. But they both have fathers that are, like, terrible and leave their family and stuff. The only difference is that in Heart of Dixie, she has a moment with her father where her father's, like, becomes her father again. But in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, the father never becomes, like, a father again. She's like, just get out of my life. Also, the other similarity is that both of the moms in both shows are very judgmental and hard to get along with, and they don't have a very good relationship with their moms. The one big difference is in Heart of Dixie, her dad isn't really her real dad, as she finds out. In Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it is her real dad, but it's just weird how it has the same family similarities. In both, they both tried to break up a 15-year relationship. Now, I wouldn't think that was weird at all, except for they were both the same amount of time in the relationship. They were both 15-year relationships, which is weird. And in Heart of Dixie, it's where Lemon and George are about to get married, but she breaks them up. And then in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, my mind went blank. Okay. In Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, she breaks up Josh and Valencia, who were about to get married. Like, he said he was going to propose to her. So it was both where they were about to get married. It was 15-year relationships. They both broke them up, which is just weird and close. And they both have love triangles. In Heart of Dixie, the love triangle is between George and Wade. And in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it's between Josh and Greg and some other guy, too. There's, like, more than two guys or something. But there was, like, other guys that popped up in Heart of Dixie, too. But the only difference is between their love triangles. In Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, the Becca girl, she picked nobody. She didn't pick anyone in the end. Even though she had all these choices to date a guy, she didn't pick any of them. In Heart of Dixie, she ends up with the Wade guy. So she actually picked someone, the other girl didn't pick someone. Now, in this, both of the main characters have selfish motivations. both Zoe and Rebecca are both like super selfish, just wants what they want people, which is why they ended up breaking up relationships and causing trouble in their new place that they're at and everything else. And eventually their characters, evolve and become better people. But in the beginning, throughout, you can tell that they're just out for what they want and that's it kind of thing. So they both have strong, influential religious characters. So in Heart of Dixie, it's I can't remember his name though, but it's the guy that's the head of the church that's married to the woman that they stay together and everyone relies on them staying together or something like that. And she almost broke them up because of this whole piercing thing, and it was really weird. But he is a big part of the community, and people come to him for advice, and people like him and everything. And just like in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, they have the priest guy who's in it, and people come to him for advice. Father Bra was his name or something. Oh, also in it, they both leave their practices. So Rebecca leaves her practice in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend to start a pretzel stand. The only difference is she doesn't want her job back. Zoe quits her job to go back to New York because she feels like she doesn't fit into Alabama. But the only difference is that she comes back and wants to become back into the practice. So they both leave, but one of them wants back and the other one does not, because the lawyer girl was not happy with her job and didn't like it. So that was the only difference. Oh, and they also both had a friend in it that liked them right away and stayed their friend through the whole entire thing, even though people didn't like them throughout it. So in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it was Paula who was her friend right away and stayed her friend throughout. And then in Heart of Dixie, it was LaVon who stayed her friend throughout, even though they both had times where people didn't always like them, but that one person was always there for them. So to me, it just followed like kind of the same line of things, and I felt like I was watching the same show, just like kind of different outcomes that someone wrote. So it was very weird to me, and I don't know how to feel about that, but I don't see how someone else didn't see those similarities if they watched both of those shows. So anyways, just the whole time I watched the show, I'm like, this is like the other show. This is like the other show. But this happened. This is like the other show, but this happened. So anyways, thank you for watching Show Will Tell, and let me know what else you would like me to talk about. Any sort of movies that you think are very close, similar, or TV shows that need to have different endings maybe. And I'll see you next time on Show Will Tell.